Hi everyone, I'm Amy and welcome back to my yoga channel. It's great to have you here in this space with me. So today we're going to be working through a ladder flow. So with ladder flows, generally we do a sequence of postures on one side. So we're going to start with the right hand side, sequence of postures on the left. We move through vinyasa, so our chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And then we repeat the postures on the right and left, but we're going to add on each time. And we move through the poses for 3 rounds and eventually we come to our peak pose. So today's flow is about 30 minutes long. I hope that you enjoy it, and yeah, let's get started. We're going to begin by coming into a cross-leg position on the mat. So however that feels comfortable for you, whether that's sitting in a lotus position, just having the feet resting like I am now, or even grabbing hold of a block or a jumper, just rolled up and kind of just popping that underneath the bum. Helps to raise you up a little bit, lengthen out the spine, and can help with sitting in a cross-leg position because it's not always the most comfortable. So we're going to begin in our cross-leg position. I'm going to close down the eyes. We're just going to sit here just for a few moments to bring our attention to our breath before we start today's practice. Just slowing everything down to begin with. Focus on our inhales and our exhales. Feeling ourselves grounding into the mat. Bringing all our awareness to our breath. We just stay here for a few moments just to slow everything down. Set any intentions that you might have for today's practice. And just to kind of take those few moments that I feel sometimes we don't often get the opportunity for in our day-to-day lives. So just take these couple of moments to relax, to slow everything down, just to sit with ourselves, focusing on the breath. Taking an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 4. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. When you're ready, blink open the eyes. I'm going to bring the right palm down to the side of the right knee. Inhale the left arm up and over. Just give yourself a nice little gentle stretch through the side body. As you exhale, release the left palm down and inhale to raise the right palm up and over. Exhaling to release. Do one more inhale. Raise the left arm up and over. Exhale to release. And then inhale as you raise the right arm up and over. From the next exhale, releasing the palms down to the mat. We're going to move into doing some cat-cows just to warm up through the spine. So bring your wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips, tops of the feet come flat to the mat. Just relax through the neck and relax through the shoulders. You kind of have your knees to the hips width distance apart. Spread the fingers out on the mat. And on your next inhale, you're going to raise your gaze, drop your belly down, and on the exhale, rounding through the spine, rounding through the shoulders, letting everything go. On the inhale, dropping the belly down, gaze comes up, and exhaling, releasing the breath, rounding through the spine. We'll do a couple more rounds just to warm up through the spine and the back. And inhale as you drop the belly down, gaze comes up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, letting everything go. On the inhale, we're going to come back to neutral. We're just going to lightly warm up the wrists here. So start to turn your palms out to the side so that your fingers are pointing towards the outer edge of the mat. And from here, we're just going to gently rock ourselves from side to side. Go from right and then to left. Just keep that nice and gentle, still focusing on your breath. And when you're ready, bring your fingertips so they're pointing round towards the thighs. We're gently going to go backwards and forwards here, so just rock yourself back and then rock yourself forward. A couple more times. Rock back, rocking forwards. Bring the palms so that your pointer fingers are pointing towards the top edge of the mat. We're going to do the same movement, so moving yourself forwards and back again. A couple more times forwards and back again. Just going to flip the palms over so the top of the hand is on the mat, and one palm at a time. Just going to put a bend through the elbow and then straighten out the arm to come back, bending through the elbow, leaning forwards, straightening out the arm just to gently stretch through the tops of the wrists. I'm going to switch the palms over, so turn the left palm over, put a bend through the elbow, leaning forwards, rocking ourselves back slightly, again leaning forwards, and rocking ourselves back. Bring the palms so that they're both onto the mat. From here we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So push the hips up and back. Bring your feet so they are hips width distance apart. You want to have your wrists so they are shoulder distance apart. Spreading out the fingertips. Pedaling through the legs, maybe having a slight bend through the elbow here, a bend through the knee, depending on how you're feeling during your practice today and what time of the day you're hopping onto your mat. So just pedal out the legs, just to warm up through the backs of the legs. Do that a couple more times. And when you're ready, take an inhale, raise up the right leg, coming into three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the nose. We're just going to pause just for a couple of counts. And then drop the right foot down. Spin the back heel so that it comes down. Inhale, come up to warrior one. So bring the bend through the right knee so that your knee is stacked above the ankle. Palms comes up, gaze towards the palms. Hips facing towards the top edge of the mat. Take an inhale here and exhale. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Make sure the legs are nice and strong and active. On your next exhale, coming into warrior two. So bring your heels so that they're in one line. Keep that bend through the front right knee, arms out to a T. Gaze comes over the front middle finger. And here again, being mindful that the front knee doesn't try to fall inwards. You want to keep the leg nice and active, and so that the knee's pulling towards the outer edge of the mat here. We're here for a couple more breaths. On the next inhale, drop the left palm down, bring the right palm up, coming into reverse warrior. Feeling the stretch through the right side of the body, keeping that bend through the right knee. Gaze comes up towards your right palm. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And on the exhale, bringing both palms to the mat, stepping ourselves back. We're going to lower down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. We're going to repeat on the left hand side. So inhale, the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing the knee to the nose, pause for a couple of counts, and then dropping the left foot down, rising up into warrior one. So have your feet on two separate lines here on your mat. Have your back foot turning out towards the outer edge of the mat. Gaze comes up towards your palms. Knee stacked over the ankle. Here for a couple of breaths. And on the exhale, opening up into warrior two. So bring your heels so they're back on one line. Keep the bend through the front left knee. Gaze comes over your front middle finger. Hips are square to the long edge of the mat. Take a couple of nice breaths here. And on the exhale, drop the right palm down, left palm comes up, reverse warrior. Feel that stretch through the left side of the body. The bend through the front left knee. One more breath. And as you exhale, windmill both arms down to the mat. Step the left foot back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Now as we move on, we're going to add on a few postures. So inhaling the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, pause. Drop the right leg down, right leg foot down. Inhale, coming up into warrior one for 3 breaths. So bring the gaze up towards your palm, making sure there's no tension through the neck. As you exhale, opening up into warrior two, bring your heels so they're on one line. Gaze comes over the front middle finger. Again here for 3 breaths. On the next inhale, drop the left palm down, right palm comes up, gaze towards the right palm, bending through the right knee. Really feeling the stretch through the side body here. As you exhale, coming into extended side angle, so keeping the bend through the right knee, bring the right palm down to the inside of the right foot, bringing the left arm up. Gaze comes up towards the left palm. Really broadening through the chest here. Option to wrap the left arm round, grabbing hold of a jumper or resting on the top of the thigh. Just to really feel the stretch across the chest. Again, inhale to release and exhale to bring both palms to the mat. We're going to rise up into crescent lunge. So spin the back heel up. Inhale the arms up, gaze comes straight forwards or can be slightly up, however that feels for you today. Take a couple of breaths here. Find a fixed point for your gaze, which will help with your balance. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. We're going to step back, move through vinyasa. So lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. We're going to repeat that sequence on the left. So inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Take a pause. Drop the left foot down. Inhale, rising up into warrior one. Gaze comes up towards the palms. Keeping the bend through the front left leg. Hips square to the front of the mat. As you exhale, open up into warrior two, bring your heels so they're on one line, gaze comes over the front middle finger, focusing on your breath. And the next inhale, drop the left arm down, right arm down, left arm comes up and over, stretching through the left side of the body, gaze comes up towards the palm, with the bend through the front knee. And as you exhale to release, coming into extended side angle. So bring the left palm down on the inside of the left foot. Right palm comes up, gaze towards the right palm. Option here to wrap around, grabbing hold of the left thigh. Just to broaden through the chest, creating some space. Take an inhale, release, exhale, bring both palms to the mat, spin the back heel up, rising up into crescent lunge. With the palms up, gaze comes towards the palms or straight ahead. Keep both legs nice and strong and active. Find a fixed point for your gaze. As you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. Step back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. We're going to take one inhale through the nose here and take an exhale through the mouth. Just to slow everything down. We're going to move through the sequence again. On the right hand side, adding on. So inhale the right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, pause. Drop the right foot down, rise up into warrior one. Gaze comes up towards the palms. Bending through the front knee. Knee stepped over the ankle. A couple of breaths. The next exhale, opening up into warrior two, feet on one line. Gaze comes over the front middle finger. Being mindful not to let the front knee fall in and keep it pulling towards the right edge of the mat. A couple of breaths here. And as you exhale, dropping the left palm down, inhaling the right palm up and over. Gaze comes up towards the right palm. Keeping the bend through the front right leg. A couple of breaths. And as you exhale, extended side angle. So bring the right palm on the inside of the right foot. Gaze comes up towards the left palm. Option here to bind or just stay as you are, however feels good for you today. As you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. We're going to rise up into crescent lunge again. Stay here for a few breaths. And then from crescent lunge, moving on to warrior three. So bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Just going to reduce the stance slightly here because we're going to be bringing the weight into the front right foot. So keep your back heel so that it's up, hands to prayer at heart center. Stay here if this feels good. If you want to come a little bit further, find a fixed point for your gaze. You're going to gradually lean the torso forwards as you raise your left leg up. If you fall, come straight back to it, don't worry. Come as far as feels good, flexing the back foot. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then as you exhale, bringing the left foot down, we're going to come into revolved side angle. So keep the hands to prayer at heart center. We're going to twist round to the right hand side. So hooking the left elbow over the right knee. Gaze comes up towards the right elbow. Keeping the back leg nice and strong. Really feeling the stretch. Feeling the twist. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. And the next inhale. Bring your left leg up to meet your right foot. So we're in our revolved chair pose. So keeping the hands in the same position. So right elbow's pointing up. Gaze comes up towards the right elbow. Couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, moving into chair pose. So bringing the weight into the heels, the feet so that they're hips width distance apart. Arms come up, gaze comes up towards the palms. And as you exhale, moving into forward fold. Take an inhale to a half lift, to a flat back. And as you exhale, stepping back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. So we're just going to repeat that on the left hand side. So maybe pedal out the legs a little bit, shake the head, just release any tension. And then on your next inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose and pause. Drop the left foot down. Rising up into warrior one, gaze comes up towards the palms. Hair's getting in my face here. Bending through the front left knee, stacking the knee over the ankle. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And on the exhale, moving into warrior two. So bringing your feet so that they're in one line. Gaze comes over the front middle finger. Couple of breaths here. On the exhale, drop the right palm down. Inhale the left palm up and over. Really feel that stretch through the side body. Gaze comes up towards the left palm. And as you exhale, extended side angle. So bring the left palm on the inside of the left foot. Right palm comes up. Gaze comes up towards the right palm. Broadening through the chest. Option again to wrap the right arm round, grabbing hold of your t-shirt or the top of the thigh. It's creating some space. As you exhale, bring both palms to the mat. Spin the back heel up, rising up into crescent lunge. Take a couple of breaths here. Take a fixed point for the gaze. As you exhale, bring the hands to prayer at heart center, moving into warrior three on the left hand side. So just slightly reducing the stance, bringing the weight into your left foot. So you want to find a fixed point for the gaze here. As you gently shift the weight forwards. As you do that, bring your right leg up. Might feel a little bit wobbly. I'm feeling a bit wobbly today. Just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And exhale, coming back to the mat, coming back into crescent lunge. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, moving into revolved side angle. So twisting round to the left, hooking the right elbow over the left knee. Gaze comes up towards the left elbow, sorry. Strong through both legs. Focusing on your breath. And on the next inhale, bringing the right leg up to meet the left foot. Revolved chair pose. So still finding that twist. And the next exhale, release. Inhale to come up to chair pose. Weight into the heels. Feet hips width distance apart. Gaze comes up towards the palm or straight forwards, however that feels today for you. Making sure there's no tension through the neck or the shoulders. And as you exhale, taking that nice forward fold. We're just going to stay here just for a few breaths. Grab hold of the elbows and gently rock from side to side. Just to release any tension through the lower back. On the exhale, releasing the palms to the mat, bringing a bend through the knee and just slowly inhale, bringing yourself all the way up to standing at the top of the mat. Let the hands continue up. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Just going to move through one last vinyasa before we come into our final Shavasana for today's practice. So on the next inhale, bring the arms up, gaze comes towards your thumbs. Exhaling to a forward fold. Inhaling, flat back, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, stepping back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down to seated on our mat, and then come down to laying down for our final Shavasana. So as always, if you want to stay in your Shavasana for longer, then by all means, press pause and just chill out and relax on the mat for as long as you need to. Let the feet fall out to the sides, have the palms up, Arms out to the sides. Just clench the fists and release. Bring your attention back to your breath. Slow everything down. And soaking in today's practice. When you're ready, just going to bring some movement into the fingers and the toes. Still focusing on your breath. And take an inhale, lift the arms up above the head, feeling the stretch through the body. Exhale to release, rolling over onto your side. Gently come up to your cross-legged position. Keep the eyes closed if that feels good. Just bring the palms onto the tops of the knees. Gently bow the head. Bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Namaste. So thank you for joining today's practice. I hope that you've enjoyed today's ladder flow. As always, if you liked today's video, don't forget to click like and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.